We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
A deal to fund the government, protecting election integrity, government lawsuits, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Israel's military says an extensive wave of airstrikes has hit more than 300 Hezbollah targets Monday, as residents of southern Lebanon reportedly are receiving text messages warning them to stay away from buildings where the terrorist group is storing weapons. The strikes are in response to Hezbollah launching around 150 rockets, missiles, and drones into northern Israel on Sunday, following Israeli military operations that resulted in the deaths of multiple top Hezbollah commanders. If you are in a building housing weapons for Hezbollah, move away from the village until further notice, reads a text message in Arabic that residents of Lebanon have been receiving, according to local media reports cited by the Associated Press. The Lebanese Health Ministry is asking hospitals in southern Lebanon and the eastern Bekaa Valley to postpone surgeries that could be done later. The military said in a statement that its request aimed to keep hospitals ready to deal with people wounded by Israel's expanding aggression on Lebanon. A bipartisan plan was announced by House Speaker Mike Johnson earlier on Sunday. The tentative agreement maintains government funding until December 20th, with the House likely to vote on the bill as early as Wednesday. The agreement, which still needs to be voted on in order to be implemented, comes after weeks of uncertainty about whether a government shutdown could be avoided before the current fiscal year ends on September 30th. The hypothetical government shutdown would begin on October 1st. The election board in one of the most crucial swing states in the 2024 presidential election approved a controversial new rule that will require the hand counting of ballots on election night. The Georgia State Election Board voted 3-2 to approve a rule that requires poll workers to count the number of paper ballots by hand after voting is completed, in a decision that was opposed by the State Attorney General's office, the Secretary of State's office, and an association of county election officials, but supported by many conservatives. 3 board members who were praised by former President Donald Trump during a rally last month in Atlanta voted to approve the measure. Critics of the move say the measures came at the last minute and will delay reporting results in the state. The Federal Trade Commission on Friday sued prescription drug middlemen owned by CVS Health Corp., Cigna Group, and United Health Group, alleging that they artificially pumped up prices of insulin drugs and hindered patients' access to lower-priced products. The 3 major pharmacy benefit managers, CVS Health's CVS Caremark, Cigna's Express Scripts, and United Health's Optum Rx, prioritized high rebates from drug makers, leading to artificially inflated insulin list prices, the FTC said in a release. Even when lower-priced insulin became available, the PBMs excluded them in favor of products with higher list prices and higher rebates, the complaint alleges. Millions of Americans with diabetes need insulin to survive, yet for many of these vulnerable patients, their insulin drug costs have skyrocketed over the past decade, thanks in part to powerful PBMs and their greed, Rahul Rao, Deputy Director of the FTC's Competition Bureau, said in a statement. The 3 major PBMs, he said, have extracted millions of dollars off the backs of patients who need life-saving medications. The FTC's lawsuit comes just days after Express Scripts sued the agency, alleging that the agency's July report on the PBM industry was biased and defamatory. The three major PBMs together administer about 80% of all prescriptions in the U.S., according to the FTC. The Securities and Exchange Commission said it intends to seek sanctions against Elon Musk after he failed to appear and testify in court amid the agency's probe into his $44 billion takeover of Twitter, which he renamed X. The SEC is asking for a court order to show cause why the Tesla CEO and SpaceX owner should not be held in civil contempt after he said he wouldn't appear a mere 3 hours before the scheduled September 10th testimony. Musk's actions violated a May 31st court order compelling his testimony. A team of volunteers excavating an archaeological site in Normandy, France, found a time capsule this week from a 19th century colleague who surveyed the region nearly 200 years ago. P.J. Ferret, a native of Dieppe, member of various intellectual societies, carried out excavations here in January 1825. The message rolled up inside a glass flask said. He continues his investigations in this vast area known as the Cité des Lions, or Caesar's Camp. The message was found while volunteers were conducting an emergency dig at the ancient Gaulish clifftop village near the town of Eu, France, because of erosion on the hillside. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.